Okay, so we're now going to just bleed into.
Force Awakens.
No.
No. Unfortunately,
we
have to address us with issue.
We have to get into the darkest side of the Force, which is Darth Mouse himself.
Darth who?
Darth Mouse. Darth Mickey Mouse.
Okay.
Right. So here's
again,
the
I
thing.
am playing devil's advocate because I'm a bit of a Disney.
No. Here's the thing.
but-
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna compare this Force Awakens film to something that's very similar that happened twice. I could notice that it happened. It basically like clockwork, which is you had a running of the franchise into the ground, and then a reboot that comes back that's not great, but it's not as bad as running the franchise into the ground. The first of which was Batman Begins.
Yeah.
Batman Begins. The Batman before that is Batman Robin, was just a complete disaster for many people. For me as well.
And that is not Schumacher's fault. I'm going to say that right now.
Well,
not Schumacher's. No, it isn't. He's apologized.
Well, fine.
And he's also said that a lot of his ideas, a lot of the kind of rough concept art, it was getting ripped out of his hands to go shipped off to toy markets.
I get that. Yeah, no.
The studio wasn't listening to him at all.
Right.
He was pretty much the studio's puppet and ended up becoming their whipping boy when fans lashed him. So it's a bit like the Lucas thing.
Right.
Yeah. In my opinion.
Anyway.
For instance, he's apologized several times.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, but we have now, so Nolan took up Batman, but again, Batman Begins is an okay film. I don't love Batman Begins, but I just love it for the fact that I just remember being that guy. Well, it's not Batman and Robin. It's not Schumacher.
It's a new take on it.
And they made it grounded enough and world building enough that I enjoyed it. I didn't love the movie. I just like it's like, whoa, we have Ra's al Ghul in a movie. Awesome. I'm that guy.
Right.
The second example is something that J.J. Abrams himself was part of.
Star
Trek 2009, the reboot. Again.
Nemesis.
Thank you.
Good Lord.
Now, for me, here's the thing. I am not part of that type of part. Now, here's what I've noticed. I've noticed that fans, the type of fans that are the most pathological are the wannabe hardcore fans, which is those guys who didn't come in, they came in right before the new set of fans with this film. So they act as if they're a bunch of old school fans. Right? So I have friends who telling me to my face how good Star Trek Nemesis is because of how dark and serious. I'm like, you watch this movie? And now here's the thing. I don't pretend I'm some old school fan, but I've realized amongst my friendship, at least with Star Trek, that I'm much older than them when it comes to doing the material. Right? I showed myself, I was like, wait, I'm by far more familiar with the material than these people. And they act as if they're these big hardcore fans, and they like to, again, it's a very toxic part of fan culture of lording it over the new guys. Hey, if you like this, you're an idiot. Not only are you an idiot, but your mother needs to die in a fire.
Because you don't know any better.
You are the problem.
And you are the problem and this kind of thing. And I was like, guys, you can't watch me with a straight face and tell me that you don't like the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movie, which is fine if you don't like it. But don't tell me that you like Nemesis. Come on.
Nemesis is bad.
Nemesis is terrible.
Terrible.
Right? No, wait. Every TNG film, with the exception of 8, this is First Contact, are bad films. Every one of them.
Yeah.
Generations is incredibly bad. Right? It's incoherently a bad film. I defend
First Contact. Amazing.
Okay.
What about Insurrection? That was boring.
Insurrection was just a waste of time.
That was boring.
Although, again, much like you don't blame Schumacher, I don't blame Freaks.
Yeah, Jonathan Frakes.
Right? I don't blame Frakes. Frakes was good. Frakes is a good. He directed First Contact.
Yeah, but he also directed the Thunderbirds movie, and that was garbage.
Well,
by the way, no, I've seen the movie. It's garbage.
Absolutely,
the Thunderbirds movie is garbage. Apparently, I think also
directed
an episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
But Frakes did Roswell. Remember that show?
No. I remember Roswell. Yeah.
Good show. Good sci-fi show. He's a good sci-fi director. I think he's a good, competent. I don't think he's
I've yet to see a movie of his aside from First Contact that I absolutely.
First Contact, right? Insurrection was bad, and he blamed the script. Anyway, then they brought 10. And 10 was one piece of mess. Again,
Tom Hardy and Ron Perlman in the same movie, and it's awesome.
Just
how?
I don't know. The script was such a mess, and that is when you see how I was like, when I came out of that film, I was like, oh, I totally understand where Star Wars fans coming from. This is a mess, dude. And that was like the first time. I think it's like the first time ever, the second time ever I've ever been like angry coming out of a film. I think it's like the only 2 examples of me being pissed off coming out of the film. The first one is that film. And the second example was Spider-Man 3, right? I remember just being so pissed off.
And that's another example of a franchise run into the ground.
Yeah.
Except the new version.
Except the reboot kind of suck. Don't hate the reboot completely, but it's like, yeah, they kind of just weasel.
Yeah,
No,
like-
Amazing Spider-Man 2 was bad.
Yeah,
That was
it's
bad,
kind
that
of
was
yeah,
bad.
it's kind
The
of.
first Amazing Spider-Man for me is meh. It's not the
Yeah.
kind of super.
There's meta about it.
appeals to me.
I agree
but
with you.
It's just meh.
Because the only thing I remember about that film was the awesome Stanley cameo. That's all I love about that. When he had the fighting and he had
Oh,
the
that
Yeah,
was
yeah, he
awesome.
was the janitor and stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
He was there with
And-
the headphones.
yeah.
And they're fighting in the back. That was
Right.
cool. Yeah.
So with Star Trek now, you did a reboot that was, again, now we're not going to say something about this might be blasphemy to some people,
Okay.
but it might make perfect sense to a bunch of other people. And I'm going to just say this straight off. J.J. Abrams is a master of the mediocre.
Dum dum
That's the
dum.
thing. Here's what that's what J.J. Abrams. What he can do very well is that he can't make a steak, but he can make the hell out of a Big Mac.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
That's what it is. No,
I recently watched Star Trek Into Darkness. I mean, I watched the first movie in theaters. I was a bit disappointed. That's when I liked Star Trek, by the way. But then I watched Into Darkness recently, and while I like it, I mean, it's a
It's
pretty
bad.
cool. It's a pretty cool kind of action movie. But the Star Trek stuff doesn't fit. It's like
no, here's the problem with that film. Well, the big problem is that if you're a big fan of Rotterdam, you realize, wait, they just rip off Rotterdam.
yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Everybody hated that. And it was like totally unnecessary putting Khan in and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, point is that...
Peter Weller was also in that movie.
Yeah, I liked him.
Peter Weller was great.
Admiral Robocop Dick Cheney. Peter
Peter Weller is awesome.
Yeah, he was good in that. No, but the thing with the character is... The thing with Star Trek is that they designed that exactly what it needed to be from a money-making standpoint. They
Fresh.
Freshen it up. Again, not the worst script, not the best script, but not the worst script either. It's a script we've seen before in Star Trek, where you go with the whole alternate reality thing.
Yeah.
We've seen it before. Ton of plot holes. If you're familiar with the Star Trek universe,
Yeah.
ton of plot holes.
Oh,
So, like you're watching things, and again, if you turn your brain off and you put yourself in a kind of more magical and a Star Wars fan mindset, if you think about it, in terms of not thinking about mechanics and how things work, it's a great movie.
But-
if you're
and that's-
hardcore Star Trek fan, you would hate it. Because I'll give you a simple example. Spock sitting down and watching his planet deplone, and I was like, wait, where is Spock exactly? In my head, is he on a moon? How come that have planet snow and then the other planet is desert? Where is he watching it to see it play out live like that?
Oh,
he has to be very
yeah.
close.
That's a good
Little
point
simple
there.
things like that.
And part of the thing is, Abrams has always been a Star Wars guy, which is
Right.
why when he creates Star Trek,
It looks Star Wars.
Yeah, it has a Star
and also
Wars
why
feel
he,
to it.
and also why he needs to operate on the same laws Star Wars does
Right.
of don't think about it too hard.
Right. And we don't know where planets are. They keep mentioning Klingon, and they say, wait, they Klingon so and so, but they mention Vulcan, and it's like, wait, in my head, I know that Vulcan and Klingon ain't close to each
Oh
other.
yeah.
Like, it's not even close.
Klingon homeworld's in the beta
Yeah,
quadrant.
it's way no, but
No,
it's,
it is. No,
it's
I've
alpha.
got the complete Star Wars encyclopedia.
Klingon home.
He had the encyclopedia.
The
Last one.
Klingon and Romulan space is in the beta quadrant.
No.
Vulcan and Earth are in the alpha quadrant. No. I'm not talking because
No, beta-
Gamma quadrant is where Deep Space Nine stuff happens.
Right.
Delta is where the Voyager stuff happens.
Yeah.
Beta is where they spend most of Next Generation exploring.
Kind of, yeah.
And Klingon and Romulan space is kind of on the border with the alpha quadrant.
Right. It's on the edge. That's what it is. So
But
it's
they're still far apart from each other.
very far, but not even close.
We're fanboys.
Yeah, it's not even close. It's like, whoa, where this is exactly, why they keep referencing this? Why? All right, if you turn your brain off and you realize it's just space adventure, the movie, then you enjoy.
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
Yeah, but I guess let's probably mention those names just so it would sound familiar. Like, all right, I don't need to know where Klingon is, but I heard Klingon before. I don't need to know where Vulcan is, but I heard Vulcan before because
Right.
Star Trek. Ooh,
exactly.
right. So
Star
you're
Trek
going.
words. Which I think was the
Star Trek
biggest-
words, yeah.
Which I think was the biggest problem with Wrath of sorry, not Wrath of
Into darkness.
Into
Not to be
darkness.
confused.
The problem with that one was that you got a lot of really cool looking sci-fi action, but really the only reason it's Star Trek is because of Star Trek words.
Right.
Mind you, I want to see Ricardo. I want to hear what you have to say about Into Darkness after we watched Beyond. After Beyond, I want to. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no
Yeah,
idea.
but
I
this-
expect it to be worse, but whatever.
All right, but getting back to
Fast
the
on the
Disney.
Trekkie.
Yeah, too Trek, too furious.
Yeah, let's get back to the Disney thing.
No, right. So Disney, basically, it's J.J. Abrams rebooted the franchise in the best possible way from a money-making standpoint. Again, movies need to make money as fast as they can.
Yeah.
Yes,
You have to make it within your first weekend, essentially.
which it has.
Which it did.
It's broken. It's
Yeah,
actually
it-
broken weekend box office records.
Well,
Yeah.
talking about Star Trek, it did very well, but Force Awakens as well.
Force Awakens,
And the thing is, when I saw Force Awakens and I heard JJ was going to be it, I was like, in my head, I was like, yeah, this is going to be exactly like Star Trek 2009, and that's what it was.
I think.
And I would agree with that too.
I am. Yeah.
I'm not the biggest Star Trek fan, but I more resonate with Star Wars. But like when I watched Force Awakens as well too, I felt the same way. It felt really like what the 2009 Star Trek was.
Right.
And I'm familiar with what Ricardo was arguing about with, as a diehard fan and how they would look at this new take on the Star Trek lore. And I felt that same way when I watched Force Awakens. Like, yeah, now I understand from how he felt, or how other people felt when they saw the new Star Trek movie. It feels a lot like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so in a nutshell, Force Awakens starts off 30 years after the events of the last film, which was, the true last film, which was
Return of the
Jedi, Episode 6. So Luke Skywalker is missing, and there's like the search to look for him, because apparently he's the last Jedi. So, yes, we have this new bad guy. His name is Kylo Ren. I forgot the actor's name. Forgive me. And he has his own plan and all that kind of stuff. He has his new Death Star. It's called the Star Killer, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah, the Star. It's called the Star Killer.
May I just say
the term Star Killer was, I think, the original name for what Luke was supposed to
for what you get Star Wars, right?
May I just say how I actually felt. Another thing that rubbed me up the wrong way about this movie, how in Return of the Jedi, the whole point of the Jabba the Hutt sequence is Luke establishing the Jedi have returned, we are now back in control, you can't just get away with anything you want in the galaxy anymore, and immediately this movie opens with Luke having disappeared.
Well, no, okay. Again, they could have made this smarter, because what would have been cool is if Luke said, alright, all of this Jedi Sith stuff, I don't want any more Jedi or Sith. Like, they could have done that.
No.
Now, they keep hinting. Now, apparently, what they keep hinting at is, well, for whatever reason...
He tried rebuilding the Order.
Right, and then Ren went rogue, and basically it was this huge disaster. And he was... again...
And Luke retired because he blamed himself.
Right. Get all of that. I would like them to flesh that out a little more. If you get a little memory sequence, something. Not sure.
Yeah.
Because I would really hate if we get a prequel to this and they don't tell it in a shitty way.
What would we even call that? A betweenquel?
Yeah, whatever.
A betweenquel? The prequel to the sequel trilogy? Someone made a joke about that in a comic once.
Yeah.
The sequel to the prequel trilogy.
Anyway,
No,
guys, getting back to what I was about, right? So,
Yeah.
Because we just get sidetracked with EU stuff and all that kind of stuff, right? So so we introduce the new characters. We have Finn, we have Rey, who is like the lead now. This female scavenger on this desert planet, which
is totally not Tatooine.
Which is totally not Tatooine, right?
Jakku.
Yeah, Jakku. That's the name of it.
Just set it on Tatooine.
Yeah.
mean,
I
Abrams,
don't know why it couldn't be
want
Tatooine. Why couldn't it be Tatooine?
You know you want to, Abrams. Just set it there and be honest.
But I'll get to my point of view on that, right? So. Alright, so yes, there's information concerning where Luke may be, and it's not delivered. It's actually placed inside the memory bank of a new droid called the BB-8. Very awesome character, by the way, for a robot. Very, very awesome. Stand up.
Wally?
Yeah, don't call it Wally.
I'll call it Bolly then.
Bolly. Yeah, I like that name, Bolly, right? And fighter, sorry, another type. He's actually not a resistant, not a member of the resistance, is he?
Who's that?
Poe.
No, he has a resistance.
He has the resistance, right? Yeah. So we have a new character named Poe, very charismatic. You'll love him instantly when you see him.
Yes.
So through some circumstances, Finn meets up with Poe. They escape. They get separated. So now BB-8 is with discovers Rey. And Finn runs into, somehow end up running into Rey. Sorry. Finn runs into Rey. And shenanigans take place. The Empire's after them and stuff. And basically it's just them
really... the First Order now.
Right, the First Order, which is like the last remnants of the Galactic Empire.
The Imperial Remnant.
Another thing, but that was interesting because now the Republic is against them. Yeah. That's unclear. Because I thought that was interesting.
Which is odd.
That is so odd. Like, what happened there?
Exactly.
The Republic and the Resistance, they talk about them like they're separate entities.
Right, but they did together, but now the Republic against the First Order. So what happened with that? If they do some good fleshing out and a good edit, this felt like a 3-hour movie that lost 45 minutes. Like it felt like 45 minutes was cut out of this film. Because a lot of connective tissue was missing there.
Why call it the Resistance anyway? What are they resisting?
That's what I'm saying.
And may I point out how pathetic it is that Resistance is the name that they use in all the Star Wars knockoffs for the Imperial wannabes, and they actually use it in the official Star Wars sequel. All the Star Wars knockoffs use the name Resistance because they can't use Rebellion,
right?
Because they'd be too much like Star Wars, so they use Resistance, and the official sequel does.
Yeah. No, anyway.
And you've seen it in the trailers before.
Yeah.
They run into Han Solo and Chewbacca and of course Princess Leia.
Wacky hijinks ensue.
And we introduced some few new characters, some old characters and stuff. So now it's this whole new adventure to stop Kylo Ren and his evil plans, and of course to find where Luke is. So me, I enjoyed the film for what it was, but for me, I just felt that I understood. Yes, you're starting all over again. You want to pay tribute to the old films, especially Episode 4. But there's just lots of moments it just felt all too familiar and just really blatantly at times. Like, yes, we have a cantina scene now. Yeah. Yes, we have a new Death Star now. Yes, we have
new rebellion.
A new rebellion
There's
now.
Nothing to rebel against.
And we have a desert planet now, and we have a new droid now. You know, it's stuff that you've seen before, and it feels all too familiar. Now, Ricardo, what he said about Disney being, I could say maybe Disney had a part to play with it. Maybe it's just because we wanted to please the fans, so we could move on.
I blame Abrams more than Disney.
No, they wanted to make a safe movie.
Right, a safe movie. That's it, a safe movie. Right.
I think maybe
so
the combination.
No risk was taken.
I'm not going to put risk more on one person than the other. I think it's a combination of Disney wanting to make a safe movie and Abrams wanting to not make the prequels. I think it's a combination.
You're right. You're right. It's but that's all part of the calculation.
Yeah.
It's that's what.
So
it is.
I'm hoping that because obviously they want to make a new movie every year. Yeah. Which means they're going to have to
every 2 years.
Which means
every year.
No, listen. Disney again.
Forget this every year, right? It's that new MCU more or less.
There's another problem with the Disney machine. They plan to make basically Star Wars every year forever. As long as it will make money.
For the foreseeable future. But
I suspect that the theory is that there will be Star Wars movies until I die, That is the kind of vision.
That's why they're alternating, because because next year the one we're getting is Rogue One, which is not related to the main story.
Yeah, but why would you think that's sustainable though? That is totally unsustainable.
The only way they can sustain it is if they allow much more freedom than this movie's hinted they do.
That is the problem.
And I'm hoping that maybe as the series goes on, we'll get to see people like David Twohy and Joss Whedon and other people like that being allowed to say, okay, we need a Star Wars movie for 2 years from now. You get to work. Just here's some money. Get to work.
That is my problem.
If they use that attitude,
they're not doing that.
If they do that, I mean, because they got Abrams, and then for next year they got Rian Johnson.
So director.
I need to see his stuff. No, he's
a good director.
But he did Looper. He did Brick. Right. That was his debut film.
Although I don't know, for 9 they've got the Jurassic World director.
Trevor.
Something. And I don't know about that.
Right. Anyway, Matthew.
So
we were all cool here.
What I liked about Star Wars, the movie, getting back to what I was trying to say, guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jesus. It was a good throwback to the old films, and I liked that. I appreciated that. I just felt that they could have taken some creative risks with the narrative, with the stories. With the story. Cool, you're bringing certain characters back, but I would say for two favorite characters, I find you would just kind of shoehorn near the end a little too late and just out of place, in my opinion. At moments, it kind of felt like, all right, you're just there just to pander to the old school fans. That's fine. And it's all about all this nostalgia and like, oh, they're here again. It's all beautiful and all that stuff. Cool, but it kind of takes you away from the story a little bit. And one thing I do like how it moves at a fast pace. That's Abrams again.
That's a problem for
you. But
stop jump too fast.
Some was too fast, some was too slow. Like Castle scene, the not cantina scene took way too long.
Yeah.
Right, like the first say half hour to 45 minutes.
It's really fun.
Yeah. Really fun, and then it just kind of stops and lulls, and then it's like, oh, all right, now we pick back up. Yeah, but they were pacing issues. I felt like they really could have been longer. Like, I think they were really trying to aim for that 135-minute mark because you wanted to feel just like the old film.
And it still ended up being like 2 hours.
Yeah, it was over 2 hours. It was long. You don't want it to go a little too far, but I guess that if it went a little more, if they had more time, they could have just developed the story a lot more.
It's just a lot of connected tissue was missing.
Yeah, especially character motivations. Just see them develop over the film, especially with Finn and Rey. I mean, they were great.
They were great
actors, great performances.
And I thought, actually, to tell you the truth, I actually liked every of the new actors more than the old actors. I like them. I didn't. Carrie Fisher and Harrison
Can
Ford.
I
was-
just
They were just
say
there for
how-
these kind of
Can I say-
cute
It
moments.
was
Can I
bad,
say
but
how weird it is that both Harrison Ford's belated installment to iconic franchises are about him as an
Yeah.
oldie trying to pass on the torch from
Right.
an illegitimate child. Well, not
Yeah.
illegitimate, but a child.
Yeah, basically.
Both, and we get to see which one he likes better.
Right.
Because we have we get to see the Han Solo character and the Indiana Jones character, and we get to see which one Harrison Ford actually wants to come back and play again.
Again, there's another. You see Indiana Jones 4? Don't get
Let
this.
me not get into
Get
Indiana
this
Jones 4. The villain as well too.
Weak.
He was weak. He was weak. But the thing is, it was kind of interesting. It was kind of
Yes, Claude. Let the hate flow through.
all right. It was kind of interesting, guys.
You will die.
Yeah.
That you saw him as a brat. You saw him as being a little kind of like losing his shit every once in a while. That was interesting.
Yeah, I
And
like
just like you're seeing the beginnings of what could or
be
might
a
be
compelling villain.
another
Right.
Darth Vader. But at the same time, it's just like, all right, he's just really doing this because somebody else more or less just telling him what to do. But
Yeah.
it's kind of like, all right, why
It was
are
also-
you doing this? Why are you really taking this lead for? Or are you ready for this? Are you responsible for this? Or do you need more time to really understand what you're doing, you know? And yes,
Right.
it was entertaining. Yes, it was fun, a lot of action and stuff, but the story just needed
It's
to,
uneven.
yeah, this story just needed a little bit more work. It didn't need to rush so much. I find like with the cameos, especially with, you know, the guys from the raid, totally squandered.
Totally squandered.
And I just like overall, I just find that it was just too much about. All right, let's pay tribute. Let's pay in tribute. Pay in tribute. Instead of all right, this is a totally new story. This is the new thing. This is where we could go now. These are the possibilities
Weirdly
here.
enough, I think
But I do agree. I'll get to your Claude in a bit. I do agree
Sure.
with Ricardo where it felt safe. Like
yeah.
all right, let's just do this because we don't want to make the old fans mad, and we don't want to make. We kind
don't
of
wanna
want
make
to
the
make
prequels.
the people who kind of like the new prequels because it was so fast paced and so visually spectacular. And yes, there are lots of spectacular visuals in this one.
Yeah.
So you want to
Oh, yeah.
please both
Oh, yeah.
fans and stuff, and we just want to kind of apologize for episode 1 and 2. So like, here guys, here you are. This is what all the hype was about. And for me personally,
And
it
it's
didn't live up
working.
to all of it.
Yeah.
And the
At
sad
end.
part is it's working.
Yes, because they made a very good, from a money-making standpoint.
Yeah, they made a shit ton of
fantastic-
money.
perfect
The
movie.
sad point,
Yeah.
and not
It's
just
perfectly
audiences, but
designed for-
critics. Audiences and critics are all
No,
raving.
because the thing is, again, the cultural, you have to understand, you have 3 types of cultural capital here. 3 types of capital, I should say. You have your real world capital, money, right?
Right.
They did that perfectly. Then they have on the surface cultural capital. This is people who are fans of films, but they're not super Star Wars fans in the connective tissue sense. Then you have people like, well, I wouldn't put myself there, but I actually put myself in the general cultural capital sense because I'm not, I will keep saying it, I am not that big of a Star Wars fan. I'm not that interested in the universe.
Which you wouldn't think to hear you talk about it.
No, listen, I'm part of the circle. Like, you know, you have friends and, you know, you watch the material, but compared to, say, like, Dune or Stargate or Mass Effect or something like that.
Stargate's awesome.
Yeah, I love Stargate.
Oh, Stargate's amazing.
I could rattle your head off and I wrote fan fictions. Here's a simple rule of thumb of how I'm not a hardcore fan. I've never written a Star Wars fan fiction. Right? I've spilled a lot of ink on Stargate and Star Trek and Mass Effect, but I've never done that that's how I know that I'm not a Star Wars fan. That's the only rule of thumb.
Okay.
Whatever. Point is, it's in a sense perfect for guys like me, in a sense, where I kind of understand the
But
material.
you don't like it.
No, wait, I didn't say that. I'll say I just thought it wasted a lot of good potential. But it's not like I didn't like it. I liked it. I just didn't love it, and I wanted to love it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
Well,
Right.
same here as
we
well too.
all did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's the important point.
Yeah, it was
ultimately-
way too high for it. That's
Yeah.
why I kind of went to it with
I know,
low
I totally,
expectations.
and it's only because of J.J. Abrams and the Star Trek, and I knew, we're going to just get this formula again. And this is what I say. Disney has created the purgatory of mediocrity. It's a purgatory that we cannot escape. We can't go worse. The franchise can't die.
No.
At the same time, it doesn't seem that it could get any better. We're stuck. We're stuck with a certain quality. We're going to...
For me, I think the problem with Force Awakens. Force Awakens, for me, has 2 problems. Abrams and waste. When I say Abrams, what I mean is Abrams is a big Star Wars fan, which when we first heard it, we thought that was good news.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, actually watching the movie, we learned that him being a big Star Wars fan is a little
But this is the problem with Disney, because again, with the edit, it felt like a 3-hour film that really lost half hour. That's what it felt like. 45 minutes cut out of the film. That's what it felt like.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, there were some serious pacing.
Yeah, there's serious pacing.
For me, it was
problems I
actually
had.
but it was going very well until it got up to that fortress place.
Right.
But no, I'm talking. Is anyone else on the internet? And I know there's a minority talking about this, but they're being shut up by the majority of critics and fans who are all yelling how this is awesome. Is anyone else noticing how disturbingly similar the plot beats in this movie are to New Hope?
Yeah, of
Yes.
course. Yeah,
This
beat for beat. Yeah.
Look
Yeah.
at people.
Identical.
Yeah, it's a cantina scene.
Let's just look at this.
Yes,
plot
it does
point.
a scene. Yeah.
We start off with a rebel fortress. Sure, it's stationary, not moving, being attacked by the Imperial type bad guys.
Yep.
Right.
The survivor puts in critical information in a droid. The droid goes on a desert planet that is totally not Tatooine.
Yeah.
No.
Completely not Tatooine. He gets picked up by a sort of everyman type, hero's journey character,
Right.
who then meets up with a reluctant hero to reunite the critical information with the Empire. There's a masked bad guy running around.
Yeah.
There's a holographic big baddie as well.
Yep.
There's a plot going on to destroy a big planet-destroying device. And by the way, may I just say how pathetic that was?
No, the Star Killer.
Yeah, the Star Killer.
It's-
Okay, cool. It shoots out 5 lasers.
No,
now.
they
Wow.
pasted poorly.
It's
Yeah.
no. It's Death Star squared. Look, they had the Death Star. No, ours is a cooler
Yeah,
But I would
Death
agree.
Star.
They did piece it
No.
because
Because
I
you
completely
knew-
forgot about it. I
In my
didn't
head,
even know
no,
it was there.
in my head, I was like, all right, we know because we see the planet killer type
But then
things
it
in the
goes-
expanded universe. Is there a device like that, right?
Oh, it's something similar.
Right,
Something
it's
similar.
something like that. And they could have it's like, oh well, how does it arm itself? Well, it eats stars. All right.
Okay, which kind of makes sense.
And I was like, okay, cool.
Redirecting star energy as a laser. That's kind
Right,
of
cool.
interesting.
Yeah, then they blast the plasma web.
But and then of course they have to destroy it by making a run on it, and they've got to shoot the exhaust port thing. And I can buy it
Come on.
in the first movie but the whole point of Return of the Jedi was that they had learned. That's why they had to stop before it was finished.
Yeah.
Because they'd worked around that design flaw.
Right.
That's the whole point of Return of the Jedi.
All right, but Claude, let me argue, right? So, in episode 4, remember the plans that they put into the R2 unit was about the Death Star. It was about the foundation of the Death Star, where the weakness was, how to destroy it. In this case, the information is, where is Luke Skywalker?
Right.
Where has he gone to? Oh, he's in this quadrant of the galaxy. Okay, it's not about, this is the Star Killer. This is how you destroy it. And I just find, like, for me, like, I saw glimpses of it, but it didn't register when I saw the first 2 trailers. But then they just sort of brought up, oh, we have this Death Star like machine now that shoots 5 lasers that destroys a planet each. And I'm like,
I don't know. That's just
okay, but isn't that, you just kind of throw it in just like that? And
I
it
know,
didn't
it's
build up to it.
The
Yeah,
Death
yeah.
Star is menacing. The
Right.
Death Star is built up as menacing. This thing, it just feels like we've got a cooler Death Star
Yeah,
that destroys
it's-
multiple
Oh, and
planets.
another,
It's bigger.
and another thing, the Death Star in the first one, it was the beam.
Yeah.
The beam went out. Boom! In less than 10 seconds. This one is
Fire and multiple planets.
1 minute later. No, sorry, 2 minutes later. Boom! Explosion.
It doesn't kill one planet, but it kills 4.
Yay!
It's like a Very Mark commercial.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
so
so
you have a
Get
2 minute warning to
your-
get out of dodge before
Get
you're
your-
destroyed. You know?
Get your new Death Star. It shoots farther. It shoots multiple targets.
yeah, no, that's the thing. So
That's pathetic.
they
But yeah, go on.
okay, so they beat for beat, you're right. Almost
Oh,
identical.
And even the
there's-
cantina
there's-
scene, by the
yeah,
way. Yeah.
There's a
Beat for-
cantina scene.
Yeah.
There's another beat, but I will get to that in the
Yeah.
spoiler section
Yeah.
of the review because that is a very similar plot beat.
Right. Anyway, no, but this is technically spoiler moment, right?
I was
This guy-
gonna say that, yeah.
we done it to that domain.
So we can get into that.
Right, so the issue is that we have to make the big mark. And this is where Disney now starting to see the problem with Disney and what people used to be complaining about all the time, which is Disney is like a steroid. You start off good. If your franchise is dying, it's great for Disney to pick it up and let it flourish. However, when it's time to do something really creative and clever with it, Disney's going to just step in and say, yeah, no, we're not going to take on your creative eccentricities. We have a safe movie to make, and we have toys to sell.
I hope you're not talking about the
And we have an
MCU
audience
because then
to
we're going to have a
cater to.
fight.
No, but that's the thing. That's exactly what happened in the MCU as well.
No.
Yes. There's the 2 examples I'm going to cite. Because that's the one I'm going to cite. I'm going to cite Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron was squandered potential. It could have been much smarter, much better, more engaging story. It was a really janky edit and just unimaginative, in my opinion.
Yeah. And they tried to shoehorn a lot of elements
no, but
into other films.
no, but for me, Age of Ultron was quite uninspired. That's Age of Ultron could have been so much better, so much deeper, so much darker. Nope. You know why? Because Disney needed to make a safe film, right? The movie made it money, And
Yeah.
it wasn't a bad movie by any stretch of imagination, but it was a safe movie. They could have done so much more with it. Here's
And we
another
need to sell
example.
Hulkbuster toys, by the way.
Here's another example.
Pirates?
No, that was fine for what it is because I mean, how
I
smart,
like the pirates
how smart you
movies.
can get with pirates. That's my thing. How clever you
I
can
like
get.
the pirate sequels, but most people don't. Except
that-
I think the
Yeah,
fourth
because
one
it
is
just
pretty
got
weak.
way too convoluted for its
No, but
own
again,
good.
well, pirates.
I
Pirates-
love heavy story.
Pirates is a franchise. Again, Pirates is a franchise perfect for guys like me who just not invested in that universe. I just went to enjoy the movie and I enjoyed it. All
I
three
love
of
the
them.
universe.
All three of
That's
them.
what I love about the pirates. Its own mythos. That's what
Right, but I
Right.
never cared about the expanded universe and what happened to Jack. It's like just come.
Yeah, but I
watch-
never read that stuff. That's the
Right,
whole aim.
exactly. Yeah, just
But-
come in, you
right.
popcorn, shove popcorn in your face, you get out. That's why I like the third film the most because it's just more action. It's like whoa, it's a Charybdis.
Huge.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Davy Jones,
Great actor. And
Right, but
Anyways.
what was it right?
But the thing is we now starting to see the glass ceiling of that creativity happen. Another example, Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Right? What happened with that? A lot of nasty behind the scenes shenanigans went down. If Edgar Wright was supposed to make a much different movie, now the movie we got is not bad.
yes.
Yeah, but if Edgar was on board, it would have
Thank you.
been so
We would
much
have gotten- We would
better.
have gotten a much better movie.
Yeah.
And you could tell.
Okay,
you have these
look,
great.
we got an A, but we could have got an A plus.
No.
No, I
No,
think
we
got
got a
an
B
We got an
plus.
A.
We got a B.
We got a B
Nope.
plus. We got
We
a
got
B
a
plus.
It's not my favorite MCU movie by a long shot.
No.
My favorite is still Guardians, but
No, my personal favorite is Captain America.
and you know what's funny about those? Both of those are some of the more recent entries in the franchise. So it's
Right.
not like Disney's running out of steam with the MCU.
No. But that's the thing with Disney. Here's the thing. Again, if it wasn't for Disney, now we could argue about Iron Man because Iron Man came out before Disney, took in Marvel. But
They bought it by that point, though.
right. But did Iron Man? No, but Iron Man was already kind of in creation before.
No,
Really?
Iron Man had been in development hell for years.
No,
At
no.
one point there was going to be a Tom
But was
Tom Cruise is going to
was
produce
it not
and
starting
star.
it? Did it not start before it was?
It started
bought?
before the purchase, but
Okay.
no. But development hell, you can't do that because development hell they kicked around actors,
No, but
scripts,
but
directors,
pre-production.
producers.
Pre-production.
Not pre-production.
Okay.
Oh no, not pre-production. Not
Okay.
until Disney got on board.
Okay.
And as
All right, but then
bought
but
Marvel
then-
lock, stock, and
right.
barrel.
So we took in everything, but at the time, because we didn't expect. Remember, every comic book movie up to that point was the best we had for me was Spider-Man.
Which is not saying something. It's not saying
Right,
a lot.
exactly.
Because I mean,
I know, but I like Spider-Man
Raimi. I like Raimi, but I've got to tell you, after watching Darkman and Army of Darkness, I look back on Spider-Man and I'm bitterly disappointed.
Right.
'Cause
But
I
I love Spider-Man 2. Really like that.
No.
No, I
No,
really
no,
like
Spider-Man 2 is
I
one of
really
the
like
best
Spider-Man.
superhero
No,
movies
for me,
ever.
no.
Yeah. No, I really rate Spider-Man 2. I rate Spider-Man
Yeah.
2.
It-
Spider-Man
it-
1,
it-
Spider-Man 1 gets a pass only because of 9/11. 9/11 happened and kind of messed up the film.
Yeah.
They were supposed to do a lot more, but whatever.
But no.
I really like Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2 is way too slow. It's way too long, and it feels like the subplots, instead of being properly fleshed out, it feels like they're taking turns being on screen. Like
No,
Dr. Octopus disappears for the whole second act
Yeah, because you have to waste time dealing with
because we have to exactly
Yeah.
and again, remember
Which-
what
which
I was
I
saying about
didn't-
the whole thing hinging on a romance you don't buy?
No. Kind of.
I don't buy
Yeah,
the
kind of.
Spider-Man Mary Jane.
No,
romance.
but anyway, I'm a fan of that film. But to me, it's the best up until that point. Iron Man, the first Iron Man was just so. It's the first time you get a sense of wait, this looks like a comic book movie
Yeah.
and a well fleshed out comic book movie. And the first Iron Man I really like, even though the villain was kind of mediocre and forgettable.
But the actor behind it on the
No,
other
you
hand
know-
was great,
no,
but
no,
the
Stark
villain was.
able to build this in a cave.
But
box of scraps.
In the end, it was kind of silly. But he made a bigger Iron Man suit, whatever. But the point is that opening, that first 2 acts was next to perfect for me.
Yeah.
As far as a comic book movie is concerned. And they started doing so okay, they did Iron Man, and then Iron Man 2 kind of sucked, but we didn't really care. And then I thought I liked the first Captain America movie.
Me too.
Oh, yeah. Joe
and then
Johnston's a very mixed director for me.
Stuff was going good, but then you started in your head. I was like, they're gonna have to go up with this. But
Avengers.
you're gonna hit a ceiling at some point. Avengers is exactly what it needed to be, right? I love
It's a
Avengers.
culmination.
Exactly, it's exactly what it needed to be. I love that, and it's like, okay, this is where Disney now like perfect in equilibrium with Disney, because you're not gonna get any better than this. That's exactly what happened. What you end up having is a darker film, which again is a kind of a miracle, which is Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which I
Yeah.
love.
And
Love that movie as well.
Love it.
And Guardians. Guardians,
Right.
I actually... for
with
me,
two
greatest
movies-
MCU movie for me is actually tied between Guardians and Avengers. Because
Right.
for me, Guardians is a harken back to that age...
Right.
Actually, that era of sci-fi, which spun off of Star Wars,
Yeah.
but it was all fun and 80s-ness and fun.
Yeah.
And I just love that stuff. I mean, it feels... For me, I love it both as an MCU film and as just a sci-fi movie.
Right.
It's the one movie I could watch separately from all the others, just watch it by myself.
For me,
whenever I feel
but for me, it's Winter Soldier first, Avengers second, then Guardians 2. That's my
Guardians-
Yeah, we're actually on the same boat.
Yeah, that's my
that's
list.
mine as well. Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, that's my list. But anyway, the point is, you have this kind of good mix between energy and money fed into the material and
Yes.
creative freedom. So you had Winter Soldier and Guardians coming the same year. Both were great. And then I was like, something going on. And then you started hearing these little weird rumors, something picking up. You said the little rumors about
Whedon was having trouble with Ultron.
Right, you started hearing little things, and it's like,
Edgar
okay,
Wright in
what
the
is
studio
good?
having a fallback about Ant-Man.
And then I saw on Twitter, and people started to panic. It's like, wait, this guy who's playing Scotty in the current stuff. Sure. What's his name?
Simon Pegg.
Pegg, right. Pegg straight up say, yes, I back my friend Edgar Wright on this, and he just totally turned on Disney on that one. And I was like, oh, we now starting to see the producers getting in the way of the creators.
Although they've given, I think Kevin Feige.
Feige.
I think he's been given complete. I think he's been.
That might be a bad sign. You know? We're not sure going on there. I don't know because
we'll have to.
No, here's the thing.
We'll have to see how Doctor Strange turns out.
Yeah. That's the sign. That isn't the big check because Doctor Strange, because you have so much creative freedom that needs to happen to make that good. That is as big as a gamble as Guardians of the Galaxy. Everybody was nervous about Guardians, but they knew it was going to be good, so they had faith in it, and it made it work.
There were plenty of people who thought Guardians was going to be a dud.
Yeah, a lot of people. A lot of people was like, whoa, this is going to be a problem.
I mean, personally for me, I thought Avengers worked as a team movie. Because personally, I think Avengers is the best superhero team movie.
Right.
Those X-Men movies do not know how to balance team aspect at all.
Right.
So I thought, okay, how are we going to do a team movie without giving everyone their own movie to flesh them out?
Right.
And Guardians did masterfully.
Right.
Which is why I love it so much.
Yeah. Anyway, but we have the case now where Age of Ultron came and went, and I was like, everything about it felt and smelled like corporate muddling. Corporation, somebody just getting the situation, say, look, we're not going to make this movie need to be a lot less this, and you see this horrible chopped up edit, a mess of a movie in my
To
opinion.
be fair, Whedon did fight them tooth and nail all the way.
Doesn't matter, but that's not the point. That's what I'm trying to say.
That cabin sequence, the whole cabin scene that fleshes out Hawkman's character, gives the movie a chance to breathe.
Great.
Disney wanted to cut it out.
Yeah.
Disney said that scene needs to go. It slows the movie down.
No,
Whedon
but that's the whole point.
For them.
The point is that Disney actually have to fight people for this. And it's like, what is happening? Let the creators do what they have to do, please.
Listen,
Exactly.
the
Trust them with the source material.
Thank you.
Which seems to be what DC's planning on doing. I mean, look, I know that's a problem.
Don't get us started.
Don't get them started,
But
please.
it kind of looks like what they're saying they're doing. You know, allowing slightly more director-driven movies. Like Suicide Squad was David Ayer's passion project.
Right.
He approached the Warner Brothers executives who were buddies. Apparently, he's in good with the Warner Brothers guys, and he approached them and said, "I've got this idea for a Suicide Squad movie."
Right.
You know, and they said, "Well, okay, fine. We'll let you do it. You do it. You make it your way." And the movie to me looks like it's going to be pretty good, in my opinion.
I know, but again, so yeah, the thing is, they have no freedom though. So Age of Ultron, he had to fight tooth and nail for this. That was nonsense. Couldn't get the edit right, and you see it. The movie had so many. No, listen. Here's the thing. I knew, even watching it, I get the sense that even if Whedon got a lot of his freedom and got what he wanted to do, I still would have probably disagreed with what the choices were. But I could have seen it fleshed out very well. You saw a good movie there. But I liked it too. I had fun with it. But in good conscience, I couldn't say it could have been so much better. For me, Age of Ultron was the B student, the B minus student. The A student coming home with the B minus. That's what it was.
For me, I don't know. The MCU for me is because I always think of it in terms of legacy. Because the MCU has set a whole new standard for how superhero movies are made. Look, think of the Ang Lee Hulk. Imagine waiting all these years for the Ang Lee Hulk and then comparing it to Incredible Hulk. Incredible Hulk is a fun movie.
It wasn't the best MCU, but it was serviceable.
For me, it was forgettable. My only issue with that film was just how forgettable everything was.
And I feel that I also think the reason the comic book movies are getting better is because there's a move away from these more auteur directors who don't actually. Brian Singer only did X-Men because he was interested in the racism aspect. He thought it was all comic book stuff.
The homophobia actually.
Yeah, that's what he was interested in. Yeah. That's all he was interested in.
Yeah.
Because he said in an interview. Not an interview. It was one of the things. They approached him several times and he wasn't particularly interested. Yeah. And then he finally said, maybe there's this whole racism/homophobia thing. Right. Maybe I could go into this. Right. And then the same thing. Ang Lee for Hulk, same business. And sure, we kind of had a little bit of that with Kenneth Branagh doing Thor, and I think Thor's great.
Good try, yeah.
But I think we're getting more kind of the fanboy filmmaking. Which as if you've watched a lot of fanboy-made films, is a blessing and a curse.
Right, no, but here's it. Right, so because the I fully agree with you, with the exception of the two choices that was Age of Ultron and Ant-Man, which is Joss Whedon and Edgar Wright. Those two people, I fully trust with the material. They, in my opinion, at this point, and look, fanboy talking now, they kind of can't do no wrong. Once you give them proper creative freedom and time, you're going to get a brilliant product. Not even a good product, a great product every time, right? It's good flow, good timing, meticulous editing, And Disney just started to hold back the material, and that is exactly how this Force Awakens film felt.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of great ideas here, a lot of great shots, a lot of great material. Listen.
On a technical level, this is an amazing movie. It's well shot. Well
Listen,
scored,
that whole sequence where
that's
right after the crawl. Right after the crawl, and you saw they tilt down to Jakku.
Yeah.
And then you saw the Imperial ship just cover Jakku completely in black.
That was a fantastic.
Okay, good start. Damn good start. They had so many great ideas. Captain Phasma, she didn't do anything.
We're getting to my other problem with the movie.
Yeah.
Waste,
yeah. Characters were there and then they would show up every once in a while and then go.
The guys from Raid.
From the Raid, yeah.
Club.
Yeah.
Okay.
The dudes from the Raid Redemption films. Love those two movies.
And may I just say, as a fan of the Star Wars dueling, when us Star Wars fans heard that we were getting martial arts experts in Star Wars, we thought, brilliant.
Yeah.
The prequels set a standard
Thank
for how
you. That's
duels
what I was
happen.
expecting, yeah.
And so now they're going to try and break that standard. We're going to see we are going to see Star Wars with the best, the kind of and the slightly more modern martial arts too. Because it's not just all the chain stuff; it's all this Indonesian stuff with the elbows and the hardness.
Yeah,
but we get these characters playing like bounty hunters or something. So trying to
heard about that
Han Solo.
Because just before the movie came out, someone involved in making the reference book actually leaked a photo of him taking a picture of them as Kenji clips. So they weren't going to be, and I heard they weren't going to be Jedi. So I thought, okay, well, maybe bounty hunters, but okay, maybe they'll be cool. No!
Nothing.
Not even
but
that.
Give them something to do instead
because
of
at least,
talking.
What I would have done with it is that I would have, what I'd have it with is I'd have them be part of Captain Phasma crew. If they're not Jedi or Knights of Ren or anything like that, have them be part of...
or Kylo Ren's entourage.
Right.
Because he's not the Knights of Ren. We don't see any of them except Kylo.
I thought we would have seen either Knights of Ren, but you could have them be part of Captain Phasma's crew, where...
An elite squadron.
Elite squadron, but their purpose is to take on Jedi. Even though they never meet Jedi ever, they're being trained as if they don't have Force sensitivity, but they're being trained to take down Jedi.
May I just say?
And they only had one sequence kind of like that with this one stormtrooper, hey traitor, and he just pull out a thing and
he
then
pulls out the
that was a cool weapon, by the way, but I thought
if that had been done by one of the Raid guys,
thank you.
God,
that is what we should have gotten. If anybody watched Raid films, both Raid films.
I mean, I haven't seen them, but I as a martial arts fact, I have seen.
But you need to see.
I need to see them. They're on my first page of my watch list.
Definitely.
But I've seen a lot
films,
of videos of
them. The first and second film, they took everything I love about martial arts, which is that fast. You have to think on your feet, kind of just high flow of action almost a live action stream of consciousness going on in reality where just stuff just happening but it's like, wait, it's actually happening though. These characters just thinking so fast on their feet. It's Jackie Chan. That why I love Jackie Chan films.
The other cool thing about this is we're also getting to see a brand of martial arts we haven't seen before.
Right.
Because what was it? Indonesia?
Yeah, it's Indonesia. Muay Thai.
No, it's not Muay Thai. Muay Thai is
it's Tony Jaa.
It's Tony Jaa, with back. That was what Tony Jaa did.
One martial arts style I did.
This isn't.
It's not Miranda. It's MERA and something. I think it's Miranda.
And the annoying thing is that Furious 7 came out earlier this year with
one
of these Indonesian guys.
Yes.
Tony Jaa was awesome in that movie. It's a glorified cameo, but it was an awesome glorified cameo.
Alright, guys.
So we get three of these people in here.
Guys, we're making a big misassumption though. Tony Jaa is Thai, so Muay Thai is Thai, but those guys in Kanji Club, those are Indonesians, but I can't remember the name of the style.
Kanji Club is a stupid name. Kenji Club.
Even when you mentioned Kanji Club, I was just like, what? This anime or something? And then you mentioned this really like,
exactly. Someone I saw in an article about the fact they're called Kenji Club. Someone in the comments was, is a dance group or something with Kenji Club?
Yeah.
Because Star Wars has come up with really cool names for syndicates and organizations before. The Mandalorians, the Black Sun, who are all non-canon now. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe if it'd been a cool way to bring the Black Sun into the new movies, like have these guys show up, or even Mandalorians. Imagine if they'd been Mandalorians.
Yeah, they could have done so much with this. And all you have to do is just give them some awesome weapons. Or I remember General Grievous had these little side dudes who had these little
the manga guards.
Oh yes.
Right, staff things.
Right,
yeah, that was cool.
Give them something to do. Dude, look, even.
They just did 2 shots where they just jump over a thing, and then one other guy jump over a thing.
And they got killed by any weirdest way possible. But I'll say this much though.
Yeah.
Even Tony Jaa, who was in Furious 7, which is still my guilty pleasure movie of the year. Dumb as it was still fun.
Another movie. That is
Even
wasted.
he got things to do. He he fought he fought Paul Walker twice, but
I mean, it would have been cooler to
it
see
was
him actually
badass.
fight
I
Vin Diesel,
mean-
but Vin Diesel was too busy fighting Jason Statham. So
Jason Statham was wasted.
No, he was less wasted than the
Than
right
these
guys.
guys.
But the point is,
And then Phasma herself,
Yeah.
Gwendolyn Christie, love her from Game of Thrones. She also
great character.
great character. But she in this, she just did one thing. Chewie punched her once. She got captured. She had to point something to do something.
And
That's
then
it.
we don't see her again after.
No,
Talking of waste,
what- all you have to do-
Simon Pegg is also in this movie.
Right? Yeah, I remember.
He's
yeah.
the
No,
alien
no.
who runs the Jakku thing.
Yeah, I know. They had to
Daniel
do.
Craig is in this movie too.
Is
What?
that verified as a stormtrooper?
Yeah.
Is that verified? Who is
No,
it?
it has been. He himself has confirmed it. In the scene where she used
I
the
keep-
force
I keep-
powers on that one stormtrooper.
Oh, that was
that's
him.
Daniel Craig.
Okay, I knew they had to do. I knew everybody's going back and forth about whether or not it's true. I don't.
Yeah.
Not too sure.
No, it's
too clear.
true.
Okay.
Oh, and well, all right. Well, as you brought up that, another thing that really threw me off with the Star Trek movie in 2009 with the cameos. So yes, I knew Simon Pegg was involved in this one. I didn't know Daniel Craig was, but that reminded me of when we got what's his face, Tyler Perry out of the blue
Oh, no, I didn't care about
in
that.
Star Trek.
I didn't actually mind that. I didn't care about that.
You know, so
Exactly.
yeah, so J.J. Abrams and cameos clearly.
Right, and they had a couple
continues.
people. They had two people from Lost in it.
I think somewhere.
Yeah,
I know there's Ken Jeong. I forgot what show he's from.
No.
Warwick Davis is somewhere in the background in a scene.
No,
one's
I know
quite
the
sure
two little captain guys were in the Rebel group.
Alright.
Those two guys from Lost. The Asian guy, I forget his name.
Ken
And
Jeong,
then-
right? But I just
Ken
can't
Jeong
remember.
was his name? No, Ken Jeong
No,
is
not-
from
not
no,
Ken Jeong.
Ken Jeong is from Community, not that guy. He's an idiot. Although he's funny.
I just can't remember.
No, it's the Asian guy from Lost. He was a guy, a cool side character in Lost, and
Right.
he was in that. And then they had another guy who was a pilot in Lost,
Yeah.
and he was in Heroes as well.
Okay.
So they had the little cameos. But her character should have been the opposite of Poe Dameron. You see how Poe Dameron was this badass pilot? She should have been a badass pilot as well.
And by the way, may I just
Give
also
us something
say,
to do.
Poe Dameron, Oscar Isaac's character, I
Loved
loved
him.
him.
Loved him.
Every
Yeah.
second he's on screen, I adored him. I want to see
Yeah,
him.
he's just so charismatic
Yeah, no, for me,
and
Basically,
just
seeing
so
him,
badass.
basically,
So,
now I want to
Os-
see Oscar Isaacs in his own sci-fi movie.
Well,
Basically, now I want to
well,
see
he's
him in
X-Men.
no. Check that. I want to
Ex
see
Machina.
him in. Okay, I want to see. I haven't seen that yet. I want to see him in the Carson. Maybe I want to see a film adaptation of the Carson Napier books, so Edgar Rice Burroughs, Pirates
Right.
of Venus, cool stuff.
Yeah,
I
he
want to
plays,
see him
yeah.
in those as a hero. I want to see him
Yeah.
as a hero now
He
because
played that, yeah.
even the bits in this movie where he's there
Little,
are cool.
yeah,
Not to
very.
say that Ray and Finn aren't good characters.
Yes.
I
So
like
they're
them.
fantastic.
Lawrence Kasdan returns
Yeah.
with the script, although to be fair, this movie had a very weird script writing process.
Yeah.
Whereas with the originals, Lucas had a rough idea, he handed it to Kasdan. In this movie, the guy who wrote Toy Story 3 wrote the first draft,
Right.
and then Abrams and Kasdan were then given that script and they rewrote it. And you can see Kasdan. I mean, I watched Body Heat in the lead up to this review. So
Oh, great movie, by the way.
I
Great
love that movie.
Neil Noir
Just so I
stuff,
can
yeah.
get a sense of how much of the Star Wars dialogue was Kasdan, and now I can believe it's everything because he's such a great writer. His scripts, I mean, not quite Shane Black. For me, Shane Black is almost the definitive modern writer
Yeah.
in Hollywood, in my opinion. But I don't know. Kasdan's scripts crackle. They're
Yeah.
electrified. They're so good. And this movie has got a lot of good, back and forth dialogue, and it's got a little bit of that crackle, but not enough. And
Chop-
there's so
Chop down Disney at it.
Yeah.
and it's
That's
so
exactly what
many
happened.
bits of dialogue where it looks like Abrams himself. I mean, I don't object
Chop-
to Abrams.
chop down
I
Disney,
mean,
yeah.
I mean, Mission Impossible 3, decent movie.
Yeah.
It was.
It's a bit
It was
shaky
No,
for my liking.
okay, so I kind of
It's
put,
decent.
in terms of rank, I kind of put Abrams somewhere in between Zack Snyder and Christopher Nolan.
Whoa.
That's why I kind of put him, which is
Well, two big league directors
he's
right
not,
there.
He's not. No, but Zack Snyder is kind of the dumbest at the end. Shit does look, no, stuff does look good, but it's pretty stupid stuff. Abrams
Except for Watchmen.
Sucker Punch. Oh no, except
Yes, Sucker
Watchmen,
Punch
yes.
is balls.
Watchmen was brilliant.
Watchmen was just on the
Yeah.
edge.
And may I say, 10 times better than Star Trek. And it both came out in 2009.
Yes.
Argue with me about it, I don't care. I love Watchmen.
Watchmen was
Abrams
fantastic.
give it just the edge, just on the edge of material in terms of intelligence, and then Nolan is always give you a material above, what you should do. I really like
Yeah,
Inception.
he always goes really philosophical and stuff.
Interstellar, right? Interstellar was a mess, but it could have been good. If
I
he
love
got
Interstellar,
If he got a, he should have
I
more.
need to crash watch Nolan. I need to at some point. I mean, I
Yeah.
haven't seen
Yeah.
it.
Inception.
Originally, nothing of it. I'm going to watch Inception first and then eventually get to the
No,
rest of this stuff.
start off with
Alright, so it's first
with
movies-
Batman Begins, then Dark Knight, then Inception.
No,
You have to do the
no.
Hollywood
No,
stuff. See his growth, man.
Start with
No.
start with. Okay,
No,
you don't-
Okay.
Stop.
I'll argue. Start with Memento. Start
Yeah,
with
you don't
Memento.
need to start with Doodlebug or anything like that. Just start with Memento?
Memento.
No,
Yeah, good fun.
I'm used to auteur movies anyway.
Good.
I crash watched Del Toro and Cronenberg
Good.
and Carpenter, so
No.
I can start with Inception.
Right, no.
Right.
I recommend you start with Memento, boy.
Oh well, but anyway. So
Anyway, but the point is that he's a person that he could be intelligent if he didn't have this big machine holding him back, right?
I don't know if I blame Disney all the way though.
No, we'll find out. No, but here's the thing. It's difficult to tell. But you get the sense that intelligent stuff could come from him, right? So what I like from him, that I
Super
think
8?
No.
Mission
Sorry.
Impossible
Super 8
3?
was forgettable for me. It was
No,
way
the
hyper.
problem with Super 8 is that because he's trying to ape Spielberg so much, it doesn't work.
For me, I kind of like.
I'll go back to something like Alias, right? TV show.
I haven't seen, no, I haven't seen any of his TV stuff.
Okay, old stuff.
I've seen all his movies.
Yeah.
I kind of like Felicity, even though it's not sci-fi. It's a, Kerry Russell show. It was kind of fun. The early season of Lost, when Lost was kind of good and people liked it.
When it was interesting and it wasn't
although it
convoluted.
Right. Abrams, you get the feeling. No, he wrote a book called. There's a fantastic book he co-wrote. I forget the other author. But he wrote a fantastic book called S, where it's about two guys. So in the book, it's two guys reading about a book, and they're sharing the book back and forth and talking about the book, and it's a mystery you have to solve. So you're reading the book, and then you're reading their notes about the book.
Yeah.
And
That is
yeah, it's quite clever actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's quite clever actually. I totally recommend it. It's actually so.
That's for swag though. That's
You know, there's some good material coming from him, and he's a really smart guy in that way. However, you get the sense that he just catering to the lowest common denominator. Again, I call him the master of the mediocre because he can do that very well, and then level that to a point where everyone can enjoy it, including a guy like me.
Mm-hmm.
Wasted film, too much. So I'll say, even though I really liked it, Star Wars TFA does not stand for that was fucking awesome. But it's a film I liked, and it had a little too much fan service. I had some pacing problems, and the end of it.
Yes, the end.
And he's a person who. As a film, I'll say it
looks nice.
It does, but it does enough to start to reboot the franchise. It's fine.
For me, I was kind of expecting. I mean, I was disappointed. I mean, I don't hate the movie, but I'm afraid I like Revenge of the Sith a little better.
Okay.
I like Revenge of the Sith better. For me, the movie was disappointing because I came in hearing all the good buzz. There were a lot of people. I mean, I heard Abrams was in charge. And his response to the fans is actually quite good because there was a very early video where a bunch of fans said, "Dear J.J. Abrams, how you can make Star Wars good?" And they basically created the whole video, and he responded to it. And he pretty much not only watched the video but responded saying, "Oh, I agree." And here's and said he would try and incorporate the suggestions. But I think the problem is he went too far in trying to recreate the original.
Right,
Like,
that is a little too much of the problem. Right. A little too much fan service.
Right.
Way too much. It's that fanboy filmmaking being either a blessing or a curse.
No, yeah, it really felt like, and
Gunn.
but you're right. It's not being flippant by saying that this is like a really great Star Wars fan movie. That's not flippant. It's not an insult so much. Yeah, but it's not you saying that to insult the film as well.
It's kind of a compliment, more or less.
In a sense. And for me, the pacing, even though
I mean, as we've kind of learned in recent years, fanboy filmmaking either, I mean, it's very mixed. Because on the one hand, if you're a big fan of something like Captain, I mean, I think the guy who made Ant-Man, the guy who they got to replace Edgar Wright, is actually a big fan of Ant-Man, and he's apparently almost every second he's on set, he's almost overjoyed he's working on an Ant-Man movie, and they're bringing him back to do the next one, Ant-Man and Wasp, which will be coming out in a few years, and so that's one thing. And then you got the John Carter guy, who's so in love with the material he's kind of blind to reality a little bit, and this movie, I think Abrams. Him and the fans, and the fact that Disney's not going to encourage him. If he says I want to make the movie like the originals, they're going to say, "Oh, okay, sure, make it more like the originals. I don't mind."
Right.
That is the problem, I think, because it's way too similar. Not just plot beats.
Too much fan service. No, but it had too much like passing on the torch moments, and you could tell it was just these lingering shots. Okay, we get it. Han Solo passing on the thing. R2-D2 passing it on to BB-8. Okay, we get it.
Right.
Like, it was a little too much of that. Too much fan service. And sequel baiting. I'm sorry. This was a sequel baitish movie. I did not like that.
It's not like there's even a question whether there's going to be a next one.
No, we knew that. But you're supposed to still make a solid film on its own. And it didn't feel like that.
Yeah, no.
It felt like, oh, well, it's about Luke. And then when we find Luke, your movie, that's part 2. And I was like, make a full
And I
movie.
meant to say I like the look of Mark Hamill in this movie.
Yeah, look, awesome.
His looks cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, I like the look. I
No, he
like
look-
Yeah, he has
it-
that
it's
sort of
much older, grizzled
old,
look.
wise sort of.
And then the big twist part again, super spoiler moment.
Super.
It doesn't
Basically,
matter. We just give a clue. It doesn't matter who shot first.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Who stabbed first? No, you're right about that. So the big thing is the death of Han Solo.
Which is completely not like the death of Obi-Wan in the original New Hope, the old mentor character
Right.
who gets
Yeah.
killed off. No,
Right. No, okay. So
The big
they,
emotional
I
moment with the hero, no.
I thought they did that pretty. It was pretty predictable.
Yes.
I didn't know it. Not
Yeah.
yet. I didn't know it was going to happen. I knew.
But when the scene actually starts out, I mean, it starts out great, and he shouts, "Bah!"
Right.
And
Yeah.
it starts out, and then as it starts to get more, I said, "Oh dear, this is happening."
Yeah.
Well,
This is happening.
And then they
Yeah.
did, no, and you know they did it perfectly. Where you see the Starkiller destroys the star, so the sun goes black, so everything goes black and everything becomes red.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, okay, you're
All
gonna do
right.
this.
Well, I'll say this much too. One of my friends who went with us, we all went to see this movie Thursday night in IMAX. Well, the Thursday before this recording,
Yeah.
time of
Yes.
this recording, and
Was
he sort of sent me this text and he told me that he read online this little spoiler that someone doesn't make it. That he just said he or she doesn't make it.
Okay.
I said, okay, that's all I need. Don't tell me anything else. Please don't tell me anything
No,
else. I'll
I
see
I
for
heard there
myself.
was a rumor that someone died. I mean, I didn't know.
I knew
Right.
they had to. No. Again, it wasn't even. This is the sad part, and this is how predictable and safe this movie was because, yeah, as I said, it's so much like a New Hope.
Yeah.
And my attitude was, yeah, they're gonna just repeat this beat for beat, just like how Star Trek 2009 was. My attitude was, yeah. Somebody's gonna die in this movie.
Yeah.
I knew who it was gonna be,
And-
I was like, in my head, it only had to be one person. I was like, yeah, they can only kill one person in this.
And man,
Right, but the thing is though, is because they hinted at the fact that this new villain, Kylo Ren,
Yeah.
is actually
Son.
Han and Leia's son. It's like,
Right.
Okay.
and you saw
And
how
that's
they
just
repeated
right
stuff.
out of
That's
the
all.
EU.
You saw how
That's
they-
it. Yeah,
right.
I was like, because that's something I knew since I was a kid. I was like, yeah, I knew they have twins and
they
so
have
on.
to one of them go to the dark side. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right out of the EU. So
Yeah.
the EU is not
Yeah.
canon, but we're going to pirate from it.
Yep.
We're going
Yeah.
to get all the best elements of
Yep.
the EU, but it's not
Well-
canon anymore. I don't like that.
Yeah.
That
But-
actually
No,
that
it-
comes
it-
off as wrong to
A
me.
little underhanded, yeah.
Yeah,
I agree
but
with
the thing is with the scene itself, like when I saw it, how it was set up, it was predictable. You knew it was gonna happen. But I was like, okay, should it happen? Could it? I mean, what if it doesn't happen and then wait, no,
And
it happens.
another thing is that they didn't do the best misdirection. So they spent a lot of time making it out as if Finn is this big the hero, right? He's the force sensitive hero because
Yeah.
he all of a sudden gets his conscience while the really dark thing in the beginning happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the excuses that this is his first time on the field.
That is
and
terrible. No,
shit.
I still think they should make him somewhat force sensitive. Sorry, because two things. One, they had him be guilty and having all this conscience
Right.
stuff. Two, Kylo Ren was looking at him and saying, "Yeah, it's this, it's that, isn't it? That stormtrooper FN, blah blah blah." So he knew,
Right.
you know.
3, he holds his own against another
That is
lightsaber
another thing.
user.
That is another
Yeah.
thing.
It is
I was-
established.
Yeah, he held his
You-
own.
look,
he held
you
his own
can-
against Ren for a while.
Non-Force users can use lightsabers. Grievous can. But the point is, they can't hold that well. The only reason
Yeah.
Grievous is able to hold his own and not be
Because
force
all his
sensitive is the
arms-
fact he's been upgraded
Yeah, he's
by
also a
Dooku
cybernetic
to basically.
and he's still like Grievous. Grievous is a good character and he's badass and whatnot. But he still suck ass compared to a real Jedi Master. You ever see him like in
Yeah.
Clone Wars?
The series,
not-
yeah,
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
The Tartakovsky Clone Wars. There's a scene where he's training with Tyrannus and he
Yeah.
getting washed. Like Tyrannus just calmly.
But no, the fact that Finn is able to hold his own against
Thank
this
you.
guy is actually
Good. That's why
bugs me.
I thought he had a little bit of force sensitivity in him.
And okay, may I just say
I
something?
will hate if they don't have him as force sensitive. Now then they bring in the
probably
main
won't.
character Daisy Ray Ridley's character.
Who's I like?
I like her character.
Yeah.
Great character.
She's great.
She's nice. She's nice.
I like
She have
her.
a dong home.
She's a little bit perky, but she's also a bit seasoned and
Yeah,
from,
yeah,
which is great.
exactly. And then they keep mentioning now. What they keep mentioning is well, who's her kid? Now
Sure.
I thought the way they put it is well, it's also Leia's and
And
Han's child, but it's not mentioned. So what?
So we don't know.
So we don't know. But so what? It's Luke's child. Who?
My sister's convinced of that.
Which
I don't think
would
so.
be
Yeah.
stupid. And I was like, well, so who's Luke's mother? Who's the mother then?
Oh, Mara Jade. Oops, not canon anymore.
Yeah.
And okay, and may I
But that's one question and they
I have
kind
a-
of leave hovering at the
so
very
they,
last
they
shot of the
obviously
Here's
movie.
what I think,
they
no.
want you to come back for the next one.
Right. No, the thing with it is that I would really like Finn to be force sensitive. But I don't know who will train him. So he should be force sensitive, kind of, but never getting training as a Jedi. I would like Leia.
Maybe. Okay.
You
maybe.
see how Leia?
And
not-
I'm annoyed by the
Like
whole
Leia?
Leia business.
right.
They hinted at the end of the last one. Dude, I have it. My sister has. Even the and
Right.
don't tell me they ignored it completely. Even
Right.
in the trailers, they had my sister has it stuff,
Right.
and she's not a Jedi. Not even at all. Not even a bit of dialogue saying she tried it but just couldn't connect with her.
No.
Nonsense.
Yeah.
Just rubbish.
But I would like, he held his own a little bit. He gets beaten. He was a good character. I thought he was funny. I'll say ultimately this film has some good.
Yeah.
A lot of
I don't hate it.
A lot of meh.
It's better than Phantom
But
Menace. And
no
Attack of the
bad.
Clones.
There is no bad in this movie. You know.
It's better than.
There's no bad in this movie. There's a lot of wasted, but that's not
Yeah,
bad.
but that's terrible
I'm
stuff.
talking about.
But
I'm
the
talking
problem
about
is,
things that is not in the film.
It feels stale, unfortunately.
Right,
It feels like there's a lot of what isn't
Too much retreading,
retreading what isn't retreading New Hope
Yeah.
is wasted.
Yeah.
And I have another. This is a bit of a fan thing, a bit of a fan problem I have, but I hate the way force powers work in this movie.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of announced beforehand that J.J. Abrams was going to be more inspired by the rain child from Looper, which I haven't seen, by the way. I need to see that movie, Looper.
Okay.
Especially since Rian Johnson is
Right,
actually
sure.
directing 8.
Right.
So I'm interested.
Looper is I don't care for Looper. I'll tell you why. But when you go see it, you'll talk about it.
Don't like the way force powers work in this movie, especially since with all the rumors about the raid guys, I thought they were going to do something cool.
Exactly.
But no, the way Jedi and force people work in this movie, I don't like at all. Because especially since obviously this is again Abrams catering to the fans, not responding but catering, because they all said, oh, the prequels are too staged. So this time we're gonna have duels, but they're gonna have them sweat and we're gonna see them grit more.
There's a little problem.
Yeah.
No, we established that good force users
But that's the thing.
make
Okay,
it look
so
effortless.
here's the
which is
thing. So
annoying.
I do defend, like everybody saying, well, neither Finn nor Rey should have held their own at all against Ren, because they established early Ren as this super badass. He stopped a damn phase blast in the middle of the air.
Yeah.
Which was pretty awesome.
Although,
Okay. But you have to have some way for
but
the
on the
heroes to
other
rise
hand-
back,
Right.
right?
So what they did was they spent the entire film establishing how powerful Chewie's blast is. The entire film.
Right.
You see Chewie's blaster hit someone and the person pitch away.
I think it's like the first time you ever saw it in any of the movies.
Right.
Like you never saw him.
They had
with
Han
blaster really
Solo.
do that.
They had Han Solo borrowed for a second. Hey, let me borrow this, and he fired it, and it blew up 2 guys.
And he was-
This is powerful.
Yeah.
And then they see him shoot another person. Boom! Look how powerful. And then Chewie hits Ren in the gut with this slam weapon. So you could understand Ren being genuinely injured,
Right.
and him bleeding out and really struggling against.
and
the
he's
team.
limping. And
Yeah, he's really damaged. So I kind of get that.
And the movie, I disagree with you that the movie tries to set up Ren as being a badass, because the movie has him that he's not very good.
No, they
He's got-
started him with him badass. It's him trying to set up himself as a badass towards other people. So
And
most
that's
people,
the problem. And
right?
that's,
Most
that's
people,
not a problem. I think it's almost interesting.
Oh,
Maybe
another
he's
person-
this Vader. He's literally a Vader wannabe.
a Vader wannabe fanboy, and what they did with it is him.
A bit like what's his name from The Incredibles? The villain from
Syndrome.
The Incredibles, Syndrome.
Yeah.
A little bit like that.
Right. No, but the point is that he has temper tantrums.
Yeah.
I thought they wasted this actor, Domhnall Gleeson.
Have you seen him in something else better?
Yeah, Ex Machina.
Please recommend me.
Ex Machina.
Okay, fine. I'll
Ex
watch that
Machina.
because I did not. Because
Ex
I
Machina.
would not think he's a good actor from watching this movie.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
Listen, the guy who played who?
He played the kind of Grand Moff Tarkin ripoff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I forget the character's name. Oh crap.
This movie.
It's a-
May I
it's
say
a
something
villain.
else? No good villains.
Well, it was
Sorry, I don't have any good. Snokes, Andy Serkis,
Wasted.
wasted. Captain
Wasted,
Phasma, wasted.
Wasted.
Kylo Ren, I don't give.
Yeah.
The Grand Moff Tarkin guy,
Yeah,
is the
rip-off.
whole thing needed. No, I don't
Yeah.
care. There's no good villains
Yeah.
in this movie.
It was weak. Yeah.
There was no memorable villains, I would say. They
Even
didn't
the
really have that
prequels-
presence, really.
Think of it this way, people. Let's look at the tradition of Star Wars villains. We got the Emperor, we
Yeah,
got
the prequels-
Vader, we
the
got
prequels are
Darth
more.
Maul, we got
Yeah.
General Grievous, we got Count Dooku, and
Yeah.
we got Kylo Ren. But just
No, right. So with Ren,
Well,
Ren's
Kylo
character-
Ren has a cool
No,
name.
right.
so
The whole
whatever.
point of Ren was he's supposed to be this kind of brat, and he's supposed to he has a lot of potential, but he's still on the light side. He's a very conflicted character. That works.
a
I
little
think
bit.
it works
I
somewhat.
think it could.
It works for this film, as in
A
we
little
don't
bit.
know what's going to happen to him yet. No, but they say he's kind of like halfway Luke when in the end of Empire, which is he going to fight, he's not ready, and something goes wrong,
Yeah.
and he's even though he's like the only Jedi on the block kind of thing, he still kind of gets his ass handed to him.
Yeah,
and things go bad because of his code. From their standpoint, is his weakness to the light side.
Right,
Right.
and you can argue as well
He
too.
killed his dad.
Right, you can argue as well too that yes, this is 30 years after the last Star Wars movie, so
Nobody-
you're not gonna get some
Everything
new
is a legend.
Darth Vader just out of the blue.
Yeah.
If this Kylo Ren is going to be the new Darth Vader,
but
you have
even-
to see
even-
him
but
become
even-
and
I'm
evolve.
sorry,
No, but
but
even the First
Darth
Order-
Maul was so awesome. Just
No, but
right
even
off
the
the
first
bat.
order. No, but even the first order.
Are lame.
Right, even the first order is a wannabe empire.
Which
That's a good point.
I thought that was interesting.
Right.
If the movie didn't keep trying to present them as viable villains.
Thank you. That was the biggest problem. One of the
That's
biggest
my
problems.
problem.
One of the big problems is that First Order was a little too established. If they were a lot more gritty and down home instead
Exactly,
of like they built a whole big planet base. Like where they get all that time to do?
Yeah.
And that's a problem with.
For me, I would have liked this movie. Basically, the First Order are the last of the Empire, but I want to see in this movie get destroyed. And then Kylo Ren and his master retreat to rebuild.
That
They
is
go
what
off
you're
meet
supposed to
Luke. But no, the First Order is viable villain, especially since Abrams, because Abrams sites influenced them on Nazi Germany, and of course it's less subtle. Because the first movie they were inspired by Nazi Germany, the original trilogy. But no, in this movie it's even less subtle.
Yeah, exactly. Like in the original, the first film, Episode 4. You really got the Stormtrooper Nazi comparison just by the way they marched in order.
Yeah.
Right? But this one is more like, alright, we have to have this grand epic speech, we have to have the red like flags and stuff behind them. We have to have them turn in time and goose step and all that kind of stuff. It's like, yes, Nazi, we get it, we get
it, Abrams.
Yeah.
You don't know what subtlety means.
Yeah, that's a problem. No, ultimately, again, because
not that I hate Abrams. Don't get me wrong to think that I think Abrams is the next.
The thing is, this film had to be the way it was. Unfortunately, much like the Star Trek film, it had to be designed in such a way to get everybody.
So your theory is that the next one's going to be.
I hope. Here's what I hope.
When we say next one, we're talking Rogue One? Or
No. We're talking about Episode 8.
Okay.
Here's my issue. I really don't want it to be Into Darkness. Where, here's what Into Darkness did. Into Darkness went and just ripped off Wrath of Khan in the laziest, worst way. I
think this movie ripped off its source material lazier than Into Darkness did.
Right, but here's the problem. This movie gets away because it has to reboot the franchise. You give it a pass.
For me, it doesn't.
I give it a pass. I
think it's watchable. It's perfectly watchable. I could.
Right.
I think for what it is,
but it's designed. It's designed as a film. Has to be in terms of a money-making standpoint. It had to be like this.
Right.
If they decide to go and make over Empire, that's
unacceptable.
That would be unacceptable. That would be a total disaster.
Because it's the thing with the franchise, you have such room to explore. You have such
so much. And they didn't do that.
You can explore. I mean, I'm not saying we don't need to just retread the original series. We've got a lot of. I mean, sure, you're not going to use some of the EU stuff. Maybe copyright, you can't use it. No. But you can use some of the stuff. You can explore.
And they own all of it.
Right.
There's.
Don't they own all of it?
I don't know. I don't know what they own and what they don't, and what's tied up with what authors or what publishing. They can't really. Disney wants to release the original trilogy unedited on DVD.
Right.
Unfortunately, they because they know that fans want that, and they know that fans are not happy with the Lucas edits. However, the problem is that the rights are, I think, still with Fox or something like that. So Fox and Fox won't let them
So you
do
see
it.
all these little shenanigans in law and whatnot. I don't know. I'm gonna give them a rating. Okay. My rating is
give me a rating.
My rating is a movie town, which is roughly a 7 out of 10.
So not an IMAX.
Not an IMAX.
I would agree.
Right.
Not an IMAX.
Right.
Not an IMAX.
Here's the kicker. This is the nightmare scenario. The nightmare scenario is that we're gonna get movies like this forever. It's just gonna be 7 out of 10s all the time. Mediocrity.
For me,
mediocrity. That is purgatory. I'm sorry. We're trapped.
Yeah.
We are trapped.
I honestly think so.
What's your rating?
My rating is unfortunately going by your rating system. I would say this is catch on TV or buy the DVD. Going by my own rating, this is a 6 out of 10. This is above average. This is above average. But this is not. Would I have chosen to see this in theaters? No. Would I have chosen to be among the first people to be in line? No.
Right.
I personally would have preferred to see this, stream this on my computer. I would not have wanted.
Wow.
No, that's how much I was disappointed by it. I mean, I wanted to like it so much.
Right. Overall, I like the film for what it was.
Yes.
It was entertaining. It was fun.
Yeah.
My expectations were low from the get-go, and thank God they were low, because if it were high, I would have had this at probably one of the most disappointing movies of the year.
Right.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say it is the best movie of the year.
No.
It still belongs to Mad Max Fury Road. Yes, I said it.
Nope.
Mad Max Fury Road.
Yes. Nope.
Shut up. It's the best movie of 2015.
Nope.
You know why?
And I will get to that. I will get to that. I will get to that in the next episode.
Yeah.
But for now, I will give this at a. We're gonna do a best of
end of the year,
kind of stuff, end of the year
really?
stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I will give this at a 4. I will give this at a 4 out of 5.
All right.
A light 4 out of 5. If you're not a fan of Star Wars, but you somehow enjoyed the 2009 Star Trek for what it did for just revitalizing the franchise, and you'll have fun with this. it did revitalize the franchise. It reminded me, and I guess millions of other people who saw the film, why they love the franchise in the first place.
Yeah.
However, though, I just felt that, you know, this is episode 7. We don't have to do 1 anymore. We don't have to do 2 anymore. I mean 2 in terms of how this film ended. It ended in the way like how 2 ended, in the sense that you have to wait 2 more years now until, this is what's going to happen next. And I feel it's like, you know, the studios more or less want to replicate how audiences felt back in 1980 when, you know, Empire Strikes Back ended the way it did. It's like, oh shit, we have to wait 3 more years for this. But I felt that, for me, I felt it could have had a much better ending, at least a much sense of closure, instead of, okay, now as we finally get into what the story is really about, nope, directed by J.J. Abrams' credit.
I wanted more closure.
Yeah, I wanted more. And if the idea was that they wanted the audience to leave wanting more, then yes, it succeed. But I just felt they could have just done it with a much better payoff. And like I said before, story pacing was a little off. I just find that they just could have taken a lot of risk with the story instead of just paying these visual tributes to stuff that we've seen years ago, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just take some risks. And maybe it's Disney's fault, maybe it's Abrams' fault, who knows? I personally don't really want to see a Star Wars film every year, but if this is what we're going to get,
No,
I am scared. This is going to be the new Marvel Cinematic Universe, okay, but I'm still worried. But
it's that leveling off problems I'm studying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You just get stuck in this rut of mediocrity. It'll never be bad, you know.
I take MCU movies any day over some of the superhero movies of the past. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
never had I've never had an MCU movie that made me feel the same way Steel or Supergirl made me feel.
So Steel and Supergirl is like
Steel, though.
I think most of them.
Superman 4.
No.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's the lowest level of lowest circle of
And I'm saying, I prefer something that's at least fun, maybe a little bit forgettable, but fun over something bad.